And welcome back to our show.
No, okay, that's hilarious. But and we're back. I'm sitting in a different spot now. Where I once was sitting is now our good friend Ryan Gardell from Artifakt. How you doing today, Ryan?
Good. Yo, it's good, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
No, welcome to the show, bro.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. I love this stuff.
All right, so
Yeah.
we have a little partnership here,
Right.
with the people over at Electric Haze, and you guys do
Yeah.
bring many artists. Honestly, I feel like every time you guys come, I get a little happier and happier because, there's been pretty good interviews here from different artists, right?
Yeah.
For sure. So let's just get the Electric Haze stuff out the way so we can get to you. How'd you get involved with them?
For sure, yeah. So I've been friends with them since day one. They opened up in 2014, and I had just moved back to Worcester. I'm born here. I'd gone to college in Fitchburg and stuff. Moved back here, got involved at the venue, doing artwork, doing the gallery, doing live painting, doing every, exhibitions and going to music shows, seeing bands and seeing DJs and all that kind of stuff. So they've been holding down the scene over here for almost a decade, about 8 years,
Okay.
So I've probably done at least two or three solo exhibitions and then a couple of group exhibitions over the years. And they've always just been mad supportive. It's been a good community, and it's just they give a good outlet to artists like myself, and a bunch of my good friends, and it's just been a constant staple in the scene for what we do, So yeah, when you guys partnered up, it was dope because it was it just took it to another level. I felt, in terms of actually having a sponsorship for those gallery shows. It totally changes the whole situation. It's just more proper. You have a whole production. You got DJs, you got photographers. Every show has been totally filled. People have been selling out work and stuff. So it's dope to see, especially after COVID, after things got kind of slowed down around here, especially for any venue or entertainment, live entertainment, live music or whatever. It's hard to stick around. So to see it thriving again is a big part because of this, because of partnering up in that way to make it more of a thing,
Word. So you said you've been there since day one. How much have you seen it change over time? The whole experience, and also I'm from Worcester as well.
Right.
I know Ravon's from Brockton,
Right.
But I feel like sometimes the art in Worcester is something that you kind of recognize.
Yeah.
You'll be driving up the street, you'll see some artwork, and you'll notice that for a very long time.
Yeah.
How has the art scene and how has Electric Haze's influence on the art scene changed from when you started to how it is today?
Yeah, I think it was basically a vacant store when they moved in. Now it's they're covered in murals. There's constantly arts and entertainment around here. I just think they hold it down for the more counterculture scene. So they've always been super cannabis friendly as well. They've always been they got hookah, of course, but they're just a little more open-minded on that end. So I always vibed with them in that way. They wouldn't care if we came in smelling like weed or whatever. They, it just was a little more laid back and chilled out, So I always favored that as opposed to maybe a club or a nightclub or something that's a little more turned up and a little more loud and crazy. This was mellow. It's a place that you could actually if I was to set up and paint at the show or in the club, people aren't gonna knock into my painting and knock it over on the ground or whatever. So
Okay.
we just kind of got a crew that just kept painting at every weekend, and it just became kind of a regular thing.
Word.
So yeah, that's what you need. With art, you need space to put it up, or otherwise it's gonna sit in your studio or sit in your house, and people aren't gonna see it. So it's the best way to get a lot of eyeballs on it is a venue, a club, music, concert, stuff like that. It just kind of goes one and the same with me. Art, music, cannabis, all these kind of things.
Okay.
They're natural. They complement one another.
Nah, for sure. And I know, I mean, I don't consider myself an artist. I just consider myself that someone that really appreciates art. You know, I'm a big music guy. I love painting. I used to paint when I was in high school, but I wasn't the best. I just liked it. It's just kind of relaxing. So, you know, seeing that, honestly, how has cannabis kind of, you know, influenced your art and, you know?
So many ways, dude. I've been like, so you're talking about, you know, when you got started all with like smoking weed and stuff. I've been smoking cannabis since I was like 15.
Okay.
So I got started
Yeah.
young, and I'm 33 now. So that's a good, you know, more than half of my life, right? So like it definitely inspired me in terms of like, well, number one, it helps me sit down and focus longer. Because painting it's tedious. It takes a long amount of time. So you just got to be like tunnel vision on whatever you're doing and focus on it. And it's easy to get distracted. So it kind of slows your mind down. It's like a meditation. It can just kind of like keep me centered, right? And then outside of that, I think it just allows for a little bit of like flow state. There's some studies on like, you know, that basically, you know, it can help kind of trigger those, you know, those mind states that allow for like, you know, creative flow or like, you know, it's.
We talked about it on the episode too.
Yeah. I'm not gonna butcher it.
Oh, yeah, no worries,
But,
no worries.
but
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
sure.
idea is like it, you know, it helps tap into that, and especially if I'm combining that with painting and I'm like really getting into it with some music and, you know, some movement and stuff, like that's where the best stuff's gonna come out of. So I kind of try to save it for those moments. I feel like, you know, certain strains, especially like sativas, just super heady, creative strains are like my favorite because they just keep me active. It's like, and just, you know, it allows ideas to flow out. And for me, art, it's like trying to like capture them, you know, like and put them down on paper because they're just like, you know, they're just flowing through your brain like super fast when you're, you know, hyped or inspired or whatever it is that you're like, that you're passionate about. Like when you're really excited about it, like, you know, it's just trying to be in the moment so you can remember it and like catalyze it or like, you know, keep it, make it something real or tangible, whatever that is, you know.
Word.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you use, you know, cannabis for a lot of stuff, especially when it comes to focus and stuff like that. I mean, do you feel like that's how you feel when you smoke?
Slightly, yes. I stopped really paying attention to lineage. By lineage, I mean like indica, sativa, hybrid. Now I kind of just buy weed and then I smoke it. Yeah, to be told, like I no longer have like a like creative, like I'm not gonna say I don't tie it into my creativity, but like it's now just such like, I don't know, like a secondary.
You do it every day.
Yeah, like so I guess yeah is the answer. I just don't even like notice it anymore just by how like engraved it is into like my regular, you know what I mean? Like for me, like when I'm doing create or even just watching TV, like I'm in, you know, my room, I'm in there just smoking. But yeah, I actually had a question for you because you mentioned sativas, and it is hard as fuck to find a sativa on the market right now, bro. Are you like kind of sort of picky or like is it hard for you to find a sativa when you need weed, I guess?
Honestly, I'm really not picky. It's definitely harder than it seems in the past. I you know, again, like you, I'll smoke whatever, you know. It's like I'm not as picky on that as I am on flavors. You know, like it's more about how it tastes, how it's grown, how it feels, you know, and less about like, you know, again, like I'm trying to be productive out of my weed in general at the end of the day. I'm not trying to really take a nap or go to sleep or anything. So that's overall what I'm looking for. And you can tell that just out of like the smell or the flavor of something, like if it's gonna wake you up or not, you know.
Yeah, y'all would be best friends because all he cares about is what it tastes like.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I mean, granted, I've had some weed that tasted bad, but I also don't really notice a difference. Like,
Okay.
I just smoke weed. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, sometimes I will smoke weed and it, like, I'm not, oh my God, it tastes like trash. Like if it don't taste the best, I'm still gonna smoke it. Like I bought it, so it gotta go. Like.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, it goes into the quarantine bin. And then when people hit me up like, yo, you got bud? Or like they come through and they're just like, oh, you got something I can roll real quick? I'm like, yeah, bro, take it. Do what you want with it. I
That's
don't
a
want
great idea.
It's nothing, dude, it's absolutely nothing worse. And like, So just take a step back. I like to buy a lot of weed at once, like that buy an eighth every now and then shit is played out for me.
Yeah.
Although I work at a dispensary, I come here every day, so
Got it.
whatever. But like I like to buy like an ounce at a time, 2 ounces at a time.
Right.
There's nothing like coming home with an ounce of a strain with a really, really, really cool name, and then you smoke it, and it's got the worst taste in the world, and now you're like, shit, I've got like 25 more grams of this.
Yo,
I can't return it.
That's true. Yeah, it's not like you can get the little sample of it. I mean, you could buy an eighth first before you got the whole ounce. But I
yeah,
understand.
you know, if I wasn't stubborn about it and I just bought 1/8 and then came back to it, for sure.
Yeah,
but I'm stubborn in that
I
sense
get that.
sometimes.
Damn.
And when you buy in bulk, you get deals. You know what I'm saying? It's cheaper.
And then you're not using the single serving packaging. You're saving packaging, because that's one thing I always feel like, you know, with the eighths, it's not a lot of bud, and it's a lot of, you know, plastic or packaging or whatever. You know, it's better to buy it in bulk and
No, yeah,
save on
that's
that.
actually why we make 2-packs here at Major Bloom. We do 2 pre-rolls, 1 tube for the sustainability of it. We still put them in tubes
noticed
that,
that,
you know,
yeah.
get tossed out.
Yeah, I saw one outside the other day. I had to pick it up.
Yeah, yikes. But no, it's actually cool though, because some places make biodegradable packaging.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's more expensive than regular packaging, which is like crazy, but
Yeah.
partly makes sense.
Of course. But
But
yeah,
I mean-
it's definitely the move for like the single serving, you know, the pre-rolls or whatever. But yeah, the 2-packs make sense. We just had one of those before the show.
Sweet.
So
What'd you have?
props. I don't even know. It's one of the cookie strains.
Canuck cookies?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
the little short ones.
Yeah, a little 0.5 gram ones.
Canuck. Is it? A lot of people like it.
Yeah. So yeah, I as far as cannabis goes, you know, I'm definitely like it's something that with art it goes, you know, they're just one and the same, you know. But I've been blessed a lot of years. Like I've known a lot of home growers and just cannabis enthusiasts in general who love artwork, and like I've been able to either like trade art for bud or like do work on people's greenhouses, painting grow rooms, like all types of stuff. So like I've been able to like really experience and taste a lot of different varieties of weed from a lot of different places, like, and like grown straight from the source, or like getting to go to like the grow room and stuff. So it's like I feel kind of like spoiled in that way, you know. Sometimes like nowadays, like having like all these choices and stuff is like crazy to me, because it would be like that. It would just be like, oh, I work for this dude, he's gonna pay me, you know, in weed, so I'm just getting a zip or two, and let's see what it is, and hopefully I like it, because I'm gonna be smoking a lot of it, you know. And that's like I don't know, that's just how it's been for a long time. But it's dope. Like I love having that ability.
Oh,
you
well,
know?
I mean, you're going to spend the money on weed. Well, you'd spend it on weed either way.
But that's what I'm saying. So now it's like I could make a painting, and if I could get weed for a painting, I mean, come on, dude. Like that's
Who's going to turn that down?
that's show.
I would have done that. I would have gave you some weed first.
That's what I'm saying. It's
yeah.
a good deal all around, you know, and it's one of those things that goes both ways. Like we're both hyped and psyched, you know, at least in my experience, you know. So, yeah, that's I don't know. It's just-
No, that's pretty sweet.
it's a pretty weird, unique thing. There's not too many things. I mean, you could trade weed for a lot of things, I suppose.
A lot of college essays.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Damn, I didn't even know that.
But no, it is cool though to like see all the grow rooms and shit like that. I do the purchasing here at Major
Okay.
Bloom, and ever since I've been doing it, I go on like a tour a week or like every other week, and I just go to different places and see all their different soils, all the different strains they're growing.
Wow.
And the ability to have all the choices in front of you when you come to a dispensary is really cool.
Yeah.
It's also kind of fucked up sometimes because it makes people like super duper entitled. That's partly why I actually bought like the sativa question. There's probably like pre-roll wise, maybe like 5 sativa pre-rolls out of like the 35 you have on the menu.
Right.
And people become entitled, like, why you ain't got no sativas, or like, why you don't have this, or why is this price like that?
Yeah.
When they're like back in the day, we was just getting it in bags, and you better hope you liked it, because that was really it.
Right.
So it's definitely cool. It's definitely got a negative side to it as well.
Yeah, I understand. If people don't understand how it works or how the market works, they're gonna think, well, why isn't this just here all the time, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's just not how.
I'm like, it's
it
a
is.
plant. It has a growing cycle. They harvested it. It's gonna come back in 13 weeks.
Yeah, but a lot of people think that we grow it in the back here too.
or like,
yeah, 100%.
or they're just used to like the grocery store where they're like, oh, there's just bananas here. They're always here. What do you
Always
mean
there.
there's no bananas? Like, what are you talking about? You know?
That's why when I really like a strain, I'll buy a lot of it because I need that.
Yeah.
I need that. So, do you have a favorite strain?
Do I have a favorite strain? Honestly, I'm not that like super picky type of person. I would say that like Gorilla Glues are always great. Hindu Kush, Purple Kush, any kind of purple strains, you know, super relaxing, mellow. Yeah, I don't know. I've been smoking on Golden Pineapple right now. It's like this super nice, dank. It's a sativa. It's it's super flavorful. I don't know. It was an art trade. I don't know.
No, it
Somebody
sounds pretty
grew
Like
it.
a great trade.
Yeah, they trade me some art, and that's what I'm smoking on right now. So, yeah.
Sweet.
Anyways, but there's so many good ones. It's like it all blurs together over the years, you know.
Especially when they all cross over eventually and shit like that. Like,
That's what I'm saying. It's like everything is a cross, it seems nowadays. Yeah, man, it's wild how far it's come just in the time since I was, you know, growing up and in high school, and like how limited it was, or when you'd see something, it would be like, you know, it would be these strains that were like these mythical things that you would be like, oh my God, I've heard of this in the movies, you know. It's like
Widow.
like Pineapple Express, like those movies. It's like you're like, yeah, White Widow, exactly. Those that, yeah, if you got it or you found it, it was just insane. It was like a moment, you know, and you never see it again.
and now it's all over dispensaries.
Yeah, right. So it's in you know, it's amazing. So I hope to. I'm excited to see where it goes, like in another decade from now. You know, as far as you know, what happens from here.
You brought up an interesting topic because dispensaries has killed that allure of weed a little bit. Like I felt like, all right, when you were younger, it was illegal, so doing it kind of made you feel cool. But like,
Felt like you were getting away.
you felt like you're getting away with something. But
Uh-huh.
now that it's just like everywhere, it's like, I mean, I already smoke at this point, so I don't know. Like, it's not really gonna change my opinion on it. But I wonder if like kids still feel the same. Like smoke, and then like you don't have those mythical, like, I mean,
I don't know. I do hear that more kids, like statistically, are turning to weed like more likely than alcohol,
Which is
I
good,
would,
which
which I
is
would
good.
imagine would be the case. Because
Yeah.
like if they got the internet and they researched and they know this, like the stats, it's safer for you and this and that, less harmful, like non-toxic or whatever, they might you know, be inclined to try that, you know, before trying alcohol or something else. So I would imagine, you know, that yeah, it's different, you know. But yeah, I don't know.
word. All right, so your art. Let's talk about the pieces. What's some
Yeah.
of your favorite pieces that you have, or somewhere that people can see some of your stuff?
Yeah, so you know, for those who don't know, I'm a mural artist primarily. I do spray paint and aerosol mediums mostly. Some would call it street art. You know, I paint primarily in Worcester mostly. This is where the studio is based. Artifakt. We're on Pleasant Street in Tatnick Square. We got a little studio, paint shop, a gallery, and we're also the only legal spray paint spot in Worcester. So there is nowhere else where you can paint graffiti legally with permission, unless you get permission, you know, from a building or whatever. There's no other spot that you can paint for free, graffiti-wise, anywhere else in the city of Worcester. So basically, if somebody comes over to our shop and buys a can of paint or buys a T-shirt or something or whatever, they can paint our back wall for free. And so that was a big thing with me as far as like, I felt there's places in Boston, there's places in New York City, there's like quote unquote legal walls all over, you know, the country where you can go and paint, you know, with no curator, no specific. You don't have to have a plan. You don't have to have a sketch or anything like that. You can just paint and express yourself. So that was a big part of like me getting the studio space, was people being able to paint there for free and you know, have that accessibility and, you know, open creative expression, you know, like a platform basically that like, even if you're just, you know, we got kids, we got old heads, we got everything in between, you know. So it's been pretty interesting. We're coming up on about 1 year ourselves in October. So
Where in Tatnick is it?
so it's at 1132 Pleasant Street, Tatnick Square.
Okay.
It's right on the corner. There's like a Dunkin's and a
Oh yeah,
bank
like,
and a
it's past McDonald's.
yeah, and there's a little bodega on the
Yeah,
corner.
I live right near there. That's what I'm asking.
Cool. Yeah, right on. So yeah, Artifact's that's the spot. We like I said, we've been there in that spot since October.
Okay.
But Artifact as a studio itself has been running since 2017.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's, like I said, a full-time mural business, you know, or company that we like paint murals for people custom, you know, or businesses or residential or whatever in between. But yeah, so like me personally, I've done walls like probably at least 30 in Worcester, and I lose count as far as, you know, overall, but at least probably do at least like 20 a year or so. But yeah, most recently I've done the Worcester Public Market. I did Polar Park. I did a bunch, you know, in between. Painted the Midtown Mall recently. There's a new juice bar in there. Painting another mural down where the new hotels and the new parking garages are going in over there. It's a big parking lot that's like it's got like 100-foot wall that we're painting in August. It's going to be all Red Sox theme. It's going to be like Red Sox historic moments and stuff. So that's like a lot of these are commercial jobs. They're commissions to attract like business and visibility and stuff. Some of it's, you know, grants and stuff like that too. But yeah. So yeah, it's busy around here. Like honestly, Canal District is the spot as far as I'm concerned for like being like more like the hip, like up and coming, colorful, like bright, you know, painted up neighborhood. Similar to like if you've ever seen like Bushwick in Brooklyn and, you know, Wynwood, Miami, and every city's got like its like hot spot as far as like street art is concerned. You know, if there is a street art culture community in a city, it's got like one destination that's all completely like painted and smashed up, right? I feel like Millbury Street in particular and Harding Street and this whole neighborhood really has the potential to be that district, like that like cultural district. It already has all of that going on. It has the nightlife, the bars, the dispensaries, the venues and everything else. And we hang out down here all the time, like, and I have been for plenty, like a long time, you know? So it's like, it just makes sense. And so we're kind of like on a mission right now to just paint this whole neighborhood. And, and that's more than, it's not just me, but like a few of us. It's been like a thing, you know? So like, my friend here, Ferdinand, who did the mural on the back of your building.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I was gonna say there's a bunch of
Yeah. So he's the homie, you know. He, you know, not only did this, but he did, you know, the deli up the street here, a bunch of other walls in between. Yeah. He has so many walls in the city. Like he's been crushing it. He's been out here for like 20 years painting, you know, a lot longer than I have. But a lot of us are good homies. We paint together. We work together, we hang, and it's, you know, it's kind of like, it's been, you know, a common goal of ours to paint as much work in this neighborhood as possible, because it's like, we want to see it do well, you know? We want to see, like, I don't know, we just want Worcester to be, like, cool and, like, weird and kind of funky and, like, not too... Like, honestly, like, the last thing I want to see is Worcester turn to, like, Boston, where it gets too nice and everything's clean and, like, cookie cutter and it looks like a mall.
Yeah.
And, like, all it is like, stores, and it's just, like, just over-gentrified, just, like, there's not, you know, you got to pay $50 a park and this and that. Like, I feel like there's potential that if we, you know, kind of, like, define it and get ahead of it a little bit to make it, you know, it's kind of like, I don't know, taking a stand a little bit to kind of embrace art, embrace music and cannabis and culture, and make the city cool and weird and hip before, it gets a little too, the powers that be want to make it like another mall or whatever, because they do,
Gentrified.
but there's always, commercial capital interests and big companies that get their eyeball on it, like, oh, Kelly Square, and they want to move it and make like a big, like, Walmart or some bullshit,
Yeah.
We want to make it like, we can see the potential. It's gotten a lot cooler in the last couple years, in big part to you guys and everybody else that's like putting in work to like, make it what it is. So yeah, that's we're doing our part. Like that's our whole perspective on it is like, there's mad good walls out here and it's easy to get permission. The store owners are down. The building owners are usually cool with it, but it's all about getting funding and getting money to afford to be able to paint, all the paint, the lift, and to put on these productions. It's expensive, to paint walls. So, you got to kind of like figure it out, but there's ways to do it. There's funding, there's grants, there's sometimes we just do it ourselves out of pocket just because we want to see the wall happen, and yeah, so I don't know, it's dope, but like I really love it out here, for that reason, because we're like, it's so dope to be able to be changing like the neighborhood, like the way it looks, and be like, oh, we like just to be like walk up and be like, I think this wall would be dope. Let me see what, put a sketch together and just wing it and show it to them, and sometimes it happens. Like sometimes people will be like, yeah, let's do it, and then all of a sudden it's like manifestation. You're imagining something, and then when you actually get the chance to step back and see it, like you're like fucking, it's mind blowing sometimes, but there's a lot of like steps and jumping through hoops and politics, and like there's a lot of bullshit that get from point A to point B in terms of like, getting a wall done, especially in, a neighborhood like this that's like, it's got a lot of eyeballs on it. A lot of people are trying to increase their property value and trying to make the most squeeze the most juice they can out of their buildings. So they're like, some are, I don't know. You just got to play your cards right. But I think we're doing a good job. I feel like this, like things are happening, and it's not like, yeah, they're gonna have their condos and all their shit across the street, but like at least we have like our cool little neighborhood and area over here, and like we'll just paint up all the, not for nothing, like, but the older buildings, I like the older buildings that have character. The bricks are falling apart and stuff. I like painting that stuff. I don't even want to paint the new stuff. Like, I want to paint buildings that are 100 years old or have like, they have life to them,
Like a real story behind them, yeah.
Right, exactly. And it helps make them look nicer if they need like a paint job or something, There's like tons of small businesses that it helps benefit them if they have murals. It's like increases, visibility. It makes people like happy and feel good and like have pride in like where they live, It's super simple, It's just like, I feel like it makes a difference, but I don't know. It's at the same time, it's really just fun, and it's like a way to just like be involved and like be active in your environment, And so
is this what made you start Artifakt up in 2017?
yeah, it was powwow. We did me and my friend Kai. We did powwow at Coney Island. George's the hot dog spot over there.
Yeah. 2 streets over.
Yeah. So there's this big wall, this mural on the side of that building. That was me and my homie Kai. We painted that back in 2017. And after that, it was like 9 days of just straight painting every day. And I was like, dude, like, I'm done. Like, I'm quitting my job. Like, I'm just gonna try to make this happen. Like, I don't know. Like, I took one job to the next, and it was slow at first. It was super like scary, to quit a good job and just be like, take a chance on that. But ultimately, it's the right decision. I didn't expect it to take off the way that it has, but like, murals were the difference. I was doing canvas and all that stuff for a long time, and I still do. But it was the large scale stuff for me that just changed it, like spray paint especially, but just painting on a bigger scale was like, I don't know, I just love it. And it works, you know, it's something that people needed, I guess, you know?
And I mean, at 20 murals a year, you're definitely getting up there then.
Yeah, at least, maybe even more, I don't know. I lose count, man. It's been getting like busy. We've been getting like faster at it too, so.
Yeah, so I had a quick question. Was
Sure.
the artifact transition the thing that made you go from that made you choose spray paint over like an oil pastel or like a different form of art? Or how did you even go into spray painting?
So I was doing spray paint for a while. I mean, I got into it like I think most people do, which is like painting graffiti.
Okay.
So, you know, painting things you're not supposed to, but like no one's gonna give you permission to paint on something if you've never painted it. You know what I mean? So it's like, how do you even get started? And that's like the question that everybody asks, right? And like even kids ask me the same question, and that's the answer. It's like
You gotta do it.
Yeah. Well, it was for me. Nowadays, like because of Artifakt, we have a space that kids could come and learn how to paint their first time, so they can avoid that situation of having to like step outside of the lines of, you know, the law in order to express themselves, which they will if they have to. But like, it's like a skate park, right? Like, if kids don't have a skate park, they're gonna skate on, you know, city property or the ledges or the rails or this and that, and then the cops come and they kick you out and, you know, whatever.
You go back tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know?
Same exact.
Find a new place.
It's the same exact scenario, but just with artists, you know. So it's like, I definitely feel like there's a need for an outlet for like graffiti parks in the city that like are just designated spaces that kids, adults, whoever can express themselves without like hurting anybody's property or whatever, because that's all it is. It's totally harmless, like a skate park, like skateboarding, you know. Maybe you don't want it like right downtown where everybody's trying to walk or whatever, but you know, you find the right space for it. So yeah, that's how I got started with graffiti, with spray painting was graffiti for at least about 4 years before I actually started murals or got paid to like do a mural. You know, it took a good 4 or 5 years of just like, you know, just practicing and learning. And then like, you know, I just kept with it. I don't know why, but like, it's just my favorite tool for the job because it's like, it's so quick. The paint dries really fast. It dries in like 5-10 minutes, you know? So, and it covers right over itself, so you can make mistakes. So it's good if you got like ADD and you're like really want to like paint really fast. You don't want to watch paint dry.
Yeah.
You know, you want it to like, you want to just move on and keep painting and move to the next thing. Spray paint's really good, you know?
Yeah.
But it's also, the thing about it is like, it's always a little bit, it's never quite what you want it to be because it's like, it's a spray. So it's always a little different, but you know, you got to just live with it. Like you got to live with the imperfections of the paint because it's like, you know, you just can't control it. So it's like a metaphor for life. Like you got to just like, it's, you know, you make the most of the chaos and it, you know, it is what it is. You got to live with it at the end of the day. So it teaches me to not be such a perfectionist about every painting. Like, you know, it just kind of, it helps tap into that flow thing we were talking about, you know?
For sure.
So yeah, spray paint's the best flow because you're not even touching the canvas or the surface. You're just like, it's like being an airbender, you know, that cartoon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Avatar.
Yeah, it's like you know. Sometimes I feel like I'm like shooting paint, you know, airbending paint at the wall or whatever.
Word.
To be honest, it seems like the most fun in my opinion. I don't do much painting except for when I do. But when I just spray paint in general just seems like it'd be like the most amount of fun for me.
Yeah. What kind of painting do you do?
I guess acrylic is the term.
Yeah.
I don't do anything like crazy like at all. I just sometimes buy canvases and like paint when I get creative.
Nice. Fuck yeah.
And then I just like, I guess, took an approach at a wall in my smoke room, like Harry was talking about earlier.
Word.
And we like put people on the wall and like traced them and filled them in, so the walls had people on it. It was really freaky for like the first 2 weeks because you'd be in that room and you'd be like, holy shit, there's a person in here.
Just a silhouette.
You'd be high in there or like drunk and you forget, but
That's dope, man. So you got a little mural experience.
Just a little bit,
Yeah,
bit.
right.
I didn't get paid for it or nothing like that, but
No, it's not about that. My first one was in my bedroom too when I was in like high school or something. I just got paint and just did the thing, you know. And it's just like I don't know, man. It's a addiction, like painting on the wall. The dopest part to me is that like when I paint on a wall, the wall stays there and I leave. So like a canvas, it comes with you. You got to take it with you. You're like attached to it. You know, there's an attachment involved. But like when you paint on the wall, you got to let it go, and it's hard because you're like, nah, but like I just want to do this little and now you're not there anymore. So you can't. So it's like
legit having a kid and sending it to school. Like I can't watch you all the time now.
yeah. Well, it allows me. Like I can let go of it because, you know, there's nothing I can do. So it's like, again, it allows me to finish it. Like I can be like, I'm done, and I can walk away easier because I have to, and not, you know, if I got a canvas, I'll just keep going at it like over and over. And it's just like, it takes me years to finish a canvas this big, but like a wall this size would take like a couple days. But that makes no sense, right? Like,
That's one of the reasons I don't get tattoos, because I know if I got one, I will hate it in like a month or like a year, and I'm like, I gotta do something, and I don't want to do all that. So that's why I don't have any tattoos, because I'm like, I know for a fact I will hate this.
Well, when is it done?
And it's never.
And if it's one tattoo and they're all blending together, it's like, yeah, you could just keep going and going and going with it.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I know. That's exactly how I am. And so again, the mural thing just works because like I have to let go and walk away, and there's nothing I can do. And that's awesome. I think that's the best. Like I said, the best thing is in that moment. And sometimes you can overdo it and spend too much time and ruin a piece that was perfectly good, and you did too much, you know, like food or something. You can overdo it. Too many spices and flavors and stuff, and now it's like you ruin the dish. Like,
yep, people tell me my food would be too salty. I've been thinking it's hitting, but they're like, it's too salty. So I feel it 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't take that shit back. Yeah, you can't take salt out of the food.
No, you can't take it out.
Not really.
Not in a household, at least.
Yeah.
All right, so we're towards the end of the episode. What is something that you want to share with our audience to let them know about your art, about yourself, and about some things you might have, you know, down the pipeline?
Sure, yeah. So I just wanted to mention I'm right now in the process of painting this wall right here on Harding Street, so right around the corner. It's at Electric Haze, which is the music venue we were talking about that y'all sponsor, the art shows. So the back of the building, we're doing it's a 25-foot by 30-foot wall. It's sponsored by a grant through Worcester Arts Council. So they covered the paint and the funding. And so I'm painting this huge piece, and I'm kind of like chipping away on it over the summer. So I'm personally super psyched on it. It's kind of like a sci-fi wizard, witches kind of fantasy theme that it's like, it's a little out there, but for me, it's like I'm trying to like challenge and push myself a little bit artistically. So like that's my wall, because I've had my eye on that for years, and I'm finally getting to paint it. So it's a good feeling. I got about 4 or 5 hours in so far. So I'm just like tapping into it, but I'll be there all month. Probably end of August, be finished with that. Yep. So that's a big thing in the works. And then otherwise, you know, Artifakt Studios and Supply Company. We, like I said, we got a space over in Tatnick. We sell spray paint if you ever need that. We do workshops. We're doing events. We're doing a bunch of renovations and stuff. So our events are on hold, but we're kicking off more exhibitions. We do live paint shows. Hopefully getting some permits for music, live music and stuff. And overall, we're just actively working on studio projects on a regular basis. So just a bunch more murals in the works. Hopefully doing some traveling, painting in some other states this summer. Yeah, and so that's pretty much it. That's what we do. We paint. And we got a little collective, you know. We got a whole little crew. Yeah, give a shout out to Audrey over here. She's my Yeah, Audrey. She's my.
We'll give her a nice round of applause.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
She's my new creative agent. She's been helping with booking and like managing, all the clients and stuff like that. So that's dope. We got a whole team. My intern Christian, he's our studio assistant for the summer, and we also have Abby. She's like our bookkeeper, finance girl. We got a whole bunch of artists in the mix, yeah, I don't know. It's just we're just blessed to be able to live in Worcester and like do what we do because the city supports us, and I that just makes me, I wake up every day just like hyped, It's like it's a lot, It's a weird life, but we love it, and I love doing it here and like making this place, look different. Like just I don't know, just trying to give back a little bit,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Put some color on the streets. That's it.
Pretty sweet.
I mean, we're glad to be able to bring the face behind the wall. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So we're happy to see you guys. We see a lot of these murals out here. No one really knows who does them sometimes.
This is very true. It's like it's you're not always there to talk about it, which is cool. But also, people are curious and they wonder. So that's Artifacts, like that platform that tries to connect the dots.
Word.
Word.
Well, let me give you guys another round of applause.
Hey.
Doing such good work. We try. And I'm actually happy. I know you got a little piece in here.
That's my homie Cameron Lee Gothier. Yeah, Cameron. Yeah, he's dope. He's a Worcester guy, but he's lives out in Springfield now.
Okay, is he an Artifacts with you guys too or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
We like, again, we have a whole little squad that comes in and out depending on like what the show or what the vibe is. It's always growing.
Word. Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Artifact run deep.
Hell yeah.
I'm happy to hear that.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. You have anything else?
No, pretty sweet. Actually, pretty sweet.
All right, word. I mean, I think it was a great conversation.
Wait,
Appreciate
actually,
you
I'm
guys.
actually pretty interested to see your final mural on the back of the haze, like with the juxtaposition of like what's on the side of the haze right now. It's like Bart Simpson and like the character, like that's
Matt
seems like it'll look really cool.
Matt Gondak is the artist. He did that he's from Los Angeles. He did that for Powwow like 2019, I believe. I got to do Secret Walls with him. Secret Walls is like a live art battle. He was our coach. You battle. It's like two teams. It's all fun, but it's like a live drawing battle. And yeah, he's the man. We won, so he was doing something right. But yeah, it's dope to have a piece like right next to his. It does look dope because there's some colors and stuff that are similar. It works. But yeah, there's no bare walls, no empty walls will be left in this neighborhood. Like in 5 years, like trust me, we'll be moving somewhere else.
Well, we're excited to see it, my friend.
Hey, appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
This
was fun.
No doubt. Happy to have you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is For the Record. It's Uncle June, it's Blade,
What's up?
and we'll be back. Have a great one. Peace.